right, yeah, that one's working. Okay. Sorry about the couple seconds there of no talking. Um, OBS sometimes likes to not work right. I'll preset everything up, and then it'll be like, mm-mm.
Not today.
No, it's not going to be a smooth run for you today. So I'm going to swap back to Facebook so I can see if anybody comments on this, which our 10 of viewer might. Not 10s, 10.
Oh, gotcha.
Alright, so the first thing, I suppose, would be our tour that we recently did, the Ethel Allen tour. We started off at Ashley's, as that was one of the last places that she was seen. And the food was actually really good.
It was good, yeah.
Calamari was amazing. I didn't expect it to come with a sweet chili sauce, but it came with a sweet chili sauce, and it was really good. And then I got etouffee, I think it was. It was like a Louisiana dish. It had andouille sausage, chicken, shrimp, all that good stuff. Again, all decently priced. I'm pumping up Ashley's. We have been there before, and we have gotten things there before, and I think I've played them on here. I should have queued it up and put it on here. All I've ever gotten really there before was I had something come through the real time back when we were using the real time, and it said peekaboo in a creepy old man voice.
It was a really good audio.
Yeah. I'll put it in the comments, or if anybody that's watching wants to hear it, let me know, and I'll post it in the comments. But that's pretty much the only thing I've ever gotten at Ashley's. I haven't really ever gotten anything else. Our friend Steve from Under Presents, they're also a team in Brevard. They do a dinner and a ghost, or he does a dinner and a ghost there every Monday. So if you're interested in the paranormal, want to go to Ashley's and see if anything's there, he's there every Monday. From there, we went to Crooked Mile, which we probably should have hit the brewery first, because on the way there I realized I'm passing the brewery as I'm driving to Crooked Mile, and it's a whole 10 minutes away from the brewery. But we went to Crooked Mile next, and Crooked Mile is a place that we usually get stuff. We didn't get a whole lot this time.
But there was a lot of us there.
Yeah. It was a decent sized group, and you can't make things happen on command. We all know this.
Right.
But my favorite experiences there that I've had, I brought my brothers there one time because they expressed interest in doing like the paranormal stuff. So I brought them out there with a real time, and we're walking around with the K2, and the K2 starts going off, but only when one of my brothers is holding it. So he asks, "Is there something special about me? Is that why you're only interacting with me?" And in the real time, you hear it go, "No."
Just gonna humble you real quick. No.
And so he goes, "Okay, well, if you go and stand by your headstone, I'll find you with the K2, and that way I can know your name." And he goes, "Hell no." That was a very talkative night that night, because we actually played it in the car, like through the aux cable. We listened to the recording on the way home, and it was just a lot of grumpy old man talk.
Right. He was the star of the show that night.
And other times we've been there, we get a little girl that comes through the real time, and she just says creepy things. Like she'll yell, "Run," or
"You're gonna die,"
or "You're gonna die," or if you're Evelyn, you scream "Murder!"
Right.
After I said, "We gotta be quiet. We gotta be respectful. The people around here don't like people coming into the cemetery.
There's houses,
disrespectful.
Very close, so."
They literally border the cemetery. Yeah. But yeah, we're walking around and go, "Okay, gotta be quiet," and then murder. What? Shh. And she's like, "What? You can't yell. You can't yell murder."
Right. We did get one incident on the K2. Kimberly and I did. We were walking down some of the rows, and you stop every once in a while and read the headstone, or see if people have left flowers or whatever. And she read the name of it. I want to say it was like Violet or something like that. And she read the name of it.
Is that I thought it began with a K. I don't remember.
Maybe. I can't remember. But anyway, she reads the name of it, and the K2 went up to red and then back down. And I told her, I said, read that one again. Like, which one did you just read? And she read it again, and sure enough, it bounced back up again. And it did it for a couple minutes, and then I went and grabbed Chad to tell him, and by the time he got over, it did one little bounce as we were talking about the headstone and whatever, and nothing since then.
Yeah.
But
more people, less activity.
yeah.
Yeah. From there, like I said, we didn't get a whole lot there, but props to them, because whenever I used to go there, I used to spend a good amount of my time like picking it up, like flowers that had been knocked over, picking up the flowers, just fixing things that were wrong, picking up garbage kind of thing. But this time, everything was fine.
It looks really good, yeah.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. It was in a much better state than it usually is. So kudos to whoever's caretaking that. From there, we went to the brewery, which is Bug Nutty Brewery. It used to be a warehouse. When we first encountered it, it was a warehouse. It didn't really have a name. It was just a warehouse that had a bunch of random stuff in it. Like, there were old African carvings, a boat, boxes, a weird, creepy high chair that faces it's in its own little room and it faces the outside. It looked super creepy.
Great.
But yeah, we would investigate there in connection with Ethel Allen, because when our old member Gail was writing a book, which if you want to look that book up, called Ethel Allen's Date with the Devil, you can find it on Amazon. She determined this was also one of the last places that she had been before she was murdered. To see a night watchman that used to watch over the orange groves in that area. But we have gotten a lot there. This is a location where I'm Mr. I want to find a natural cause for it before I say it's paranormal.
Right.
But at one point in this place, I was following footsteps down a hall, but there was nobody in front of me. So I was following phantom footprints, and it led to that creepy high chair room, and then it just stopped. And we've gotten again, if you want to hear the EVP, I'll link it in the comments if you just let us know you want to hear it. It's one of our first Class A EVPs, where I had the K2 and I was trying to find an energy source, and Megan has the real-time headphones on, which the real-time, I keep saying that without explaining what that is. The real-time, it's a recorder that had a delayed playback, so instead of having to record and then go play it on the computer later and see if you got anything, the delayed playback allowed you to hear in real time if you got a response. So she had the headphones on for that, and Gail asks, "So is Chad coming over by you?" as I was rounding the table. And clear as day, on the record you hear somebody go, "Yes." And you hear Megan go, "I'm done," and she takes the headphones off. And we had gotten something claiming to be Ethel Allen there before. It was a very active location, and I would like to investigate it again, but now it's a brewery. The bartender and the owner are very nice. I sat and talked with the bartender for a while.
Yeah, they were very nice and seemed very excited about it and very interested. Yeah,
but hopefully, maybe we'll get in there, fingers crossed, and see if there's still something there. Maybe the renovations kicked something up. It's crazy to walk in there now, knowing what it used to look like and seeing how different it is now.
Right.
The bathrooms. I walked into the bathroom. Well, this used to be a weird, creepy high chair room.
Right.
Now it's a bathroom.
It's a bathroom now.
And that's about it for the Ethel Allen tour. After that, we rode home, and that was about it. We had good conversations. Other spooky stuff was the human brain, but that's a conversation. That's a whole other conversation for another day. But from there, we have 2 videos that we want to show you, and we'll play the video. We'll come back, talk about it, and then we'll play another video, come back, talk about it. Then we have some other stuff to talk about, but. The second video will segue into that. So the first video we have... Oh, we can do a whole segment on creepy kids, too. I didn't even think of that.
Creepy ass kids.
Alright, so here comes the first video. Hopefully I play the right one. We'll figure it out.
So tell me why I was literally just... So tell me...
Cheese! Cheese! What you doing? What you see?
Papa.
What?
Papa.
Lucy? Who are you saying hi to? Who are you saying hi to? Dude, you need to stop that. You're freaking me out. Come on.
So, creepy kids. Has Skylar said anything creepy to you yet?
She has not said anything, but she has. We've definitely had an experience like that. This was at the shop at Get Your Fun On. My dad and I were sitting in the office, and she was relatively little, where she was just really starting to interact with things, where she just started kind of playing peekaboo a little bit and stuff like that. Well, we're sitting there, my dad and I, and he's working. I'm just watching her because she's kind of just minding her own business. And I heard she had one of those like mobiles that goes over the stroller, and it had a elephant on it that was a bell. And I heard the sound of that bell move. And so it got my attention. I'm looking at it, and I turn to tell my dad, and I'm like, that bell, I just heard the bell from the stroller thing. And he goes, oh, weird. And we go back to what we're doing, and then he turns, and we're looking at her, and it looks like she's playing peekaboo off to the other side of the room where no one is. She's, doing the, where she's looking, and then she would go, oh, and like act like someone had popped up the other side, and then she would peek like she was looking, and then, oh, and then it went for a couple minutes, and my dad and I we didn't say a word. We're just watching her, looking at each other, and we're like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And then all of a sudden it stopped.
She's very expressive, too.
Yes. Yeah. It was clear as day what was happening. Like, the interaction that was happening. It was cool, but definitely weird.
Cora says a lot of weird, creepy, dark things.
Right.
Nothing, in that area. The only thing that she's gone to for that particular, region was... I was going to the bathroom one day, and she ran in there. This is when we lived in Virginia, so, the bathroom is on an addition, a built-on. Okay. So she had to run out and in, and she was like, "I'm afraid my toys are going to talk to me." And I was like,
"Oh,
what?"
Have they done that before?
We hadn't watched Toy Story or anything. She just randomly, "I'm afraid my toys are going to talk to me." But, well, that's not going to happen.
Right. If it does, let me know.
Yeah, if it does, that's a different problem. But she'll say dark things, we went on a nature. My buddy from North Carolina was down, and we went to Turkey Creek, and we were just walking around because I wanted to try and find a gator so we could see a gator. But as we're walking up to the nature trail park, Cora was like, "I wonder if we'll see a dead unicorn."
Oh God, a dead one, not even
It's probably not.
I'm gonna guess no.
I need to know where you got that idea, but
right.
No, we're not going to see a dead unicorn. Or when she learned the word decapitate.
Wonderful.
So we were at the park with one of our other members. You've met Piffy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at the park, me, Cora, her, and her two sons. And Cora had brought a cat toy, or a toy that was a cat. Mm-hmm. And it was hard plastic, and the head fell off. And then Piffy, without thinking about it, goes, "Oh, your cat that got decapitated." I'm like, "What are you fucking doing?"
Click. Added to...
Yeah.
Yeah, added to vocabulary.
Locked in the memory vault there for her. So
you only gotta say it once, and they're like, yeah. Yes.
So I put the toy away, and then it's the Grant Valkyria Park where we had her birthday. They have a nature trail back there. So we was like, let's go walk on the nature trail, and we're walking. On the way back, her son is lagging behind, and Cora's like, "If you don't keep up, you're gonna get decapitated."
Oh man!
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Even knowing, using it in the right context. Sometimes they learn a word and they say, no, out the gate. Right context, right timing.
Yeah. So that's another good... We can do a whole episode on creepy things that kids say. So if you have any stories about creepy things that your kids have said, or if you see anything that online that you've seen creepy kids say, send it to us in a DM or comment it here, and we'll do a whole episode on creepy kids.
And it's the younger they are, the more I believe them. Because they have no reason to make that up.
Yeah.
They're not trying to scare you. They're not trying to trick you. They don't know how to do any of that. So they're just saying what they see.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a big thing, a big belief, right? That the veil or whatever is thinner with babies and kids, and it kind of...
Yeah. You haven't been browbeat down to tune everything out
to
yet.
decide. Yeah, you haven't been informed what's
no adult has said that's not real. That's
right.
not, you're worried about nothing. It's your imagination kind of thing.
Yeah. But I think it makes sense, too, why kids would see more, like, dead relatives and all that. Of course they would want to come back and see the new generation, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I will believe a kid over an adult any day. Because they have no reason to lie to you.
So yeah, if you hear any creepy kids, let us know. Like I recently got I'll say email, but it was like more of a direct message to me. Somebody had their kid was waking up screaming about a monster, and I told her, it's kids. I mean, they wake, especially if they're waking up talking about a monster.
Yeah.
It's more than likely that's a dream,
right?
Or they could be experiencing night terrors. Who knows?
Right. But when especially when it's like family members that they've never met, and they would have no reason to know,
and
that's when it's crazy.
And they'll know, like, with stories like that, they'll know like crazy specific details about that relative that they would have no reason to know.
They shouldn't know that. Yeah.
So this second video, we'll play this, and then we'll go into a whole other direction with our discussion here. So I'll play the second video here.
So tell me why I was literally just shitting my fucking pants because I looked over at my right and this dog just kind of just looked at me straight in the face and then winked at me. It's okay, buddy. Oh, don't hop up in my car. Hey, do me one favor and please just try and get back to your owner, okay? Like, there's a road right there where people go really fast. See, like that car right there? That could have killed you. Where the fuck did it go?
So I think the title on that video was like, I think this was a skinwalker or something like that.
All the comments on that video were talking about, oh, you encountered a skinwalker,
it's a skinwalker,
bro.
It's a...
Yeah. It's very clearly a dog. Right. And it hops up, a car goes by, he pans to the car. The car, in my opinion, obviously scared the dog. The car going by that way. So it bolted.
Right. Dogs are fast.
Yeah.
It's not out of, the realm of expectation for it to run around the back of the car in a couple seconds. It's down the other side of the street now. Like, it's not... It didn't... Now, if it had walked up to the car, like, on its back two legs, I'd say solid maybe. But...
Like, just walked up like that.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Right. But, have you ever seen the dogs that have, like, people eyes? Yeah. And it's... not okay with me. But it's got dog eyes. Like, it...
Yeah. And he, like, when he turns back to look for it, he doesn't pan up so you can see down the road. It stays in the sight line with the back tire. So and I mean, the dog could have easily gone to the other side of the car, and there's just so many other things that it could be. I 100% don't think it's a skinwalker.
No. But also, what skinwalkers don't, like, that's not part of their lore, is like they just disappear. Mm-hmm. They would still also be running away. Yeah. So I don't know why the fact that it disappeared is a skinwalker.
And typically, if it came up to you and it was like that,
it's not gonna leave.
Its objective isn't to leave you there confused. It's to take you.
Especially the fact that you interacted with it. Yeah. It's not gonna be like, all right, well, see you next Tuesday. Like, you're done. You're done.
Yeah. Which brings me to another point of discussion. I've recently started watching The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Is that what it's called?
Skinwalker Ranch.
I had finished season 1 a while back, and I was like, this is not going to make it past season 1. There are 3 seasons.
I think I've seen 1 and 2. I don't think I've seen season 3. If I have, it's only maybe like an episode here or there when my husband watches it. But...
Yeah, I haven't even started season 3 yet. I'm still on 2. Mm-hmm. Season 1, I was just like, nothing happened. Like, they didn't do anything. Somebody got a headache and left. Right. And that was as far as it got. And he had, like, radiation burns and stuff from the well. But watching this season 2 now, it's like, I'm watching, I'm like, this is so stupid. But I can't look away. So like I'm like this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Next
the worst
episode.
kind of train wreck.
Yeah.
The boring kind.
Yeah. It's like it gets you in with this like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they're gonna find something out next episode, and then the next episode they're just yelling at the woods and pointing lasers.
Right.
But like
that show felt very much to me like what's the island one? The secret.
it's very much like
Secret
the
of-
Curse of Oak Island.
Curse of Oak Island. That's what it is.
Which is so stupid too.
It's
Like,
the same. It's like they put a paranormal spin on Curse of Oak Island, where
Yeah.
it's like they're gonna find. No, nothing happened.
Yeah.
10 years later,
dig
they're
in the
still
money
doing
pit.
Yeah, the money pit. This is the one. No, it's never the one.
No.
It will never be the one.
But I'm sitting there watching it, like, he's just yelling at the woods. And whenever they say, like, oh, there's movement, and like, I saw something back there, it's moving. And then they shot the camera back to it real quick. You don't see anything.
That's nothing.
There's something back there. That's a tree.
Right.
There's a tree back there.
Right.
And then he runs out there with the flash. Hey, stop. You're yelling at nothing. I watched what you saw.
Right.
And it was nothing.
And it's always with everything is, from what I remember, it's always like feelings. Oh, I feel weird over here, or it feels cold, or like
Or
you're
like-
outside. It's not you're not in a controlled environment.
Yeah. They had one episode where they brought like a thermal camera out there. And it's like, oh, look, it's getting colder. It turned into night.
Right.
And you're in like the desert. And what
Right.
you're pointing at is under the trees where the sun hasn't been beaten down all day. So it's going to be colder there. Like, oh, look, when they walk over there, it gets warmer. That's called body heat.
Right. And what blows my mind is the main guy on that show, right, is an astrophysicist. What are you doing?
How
with
easy
your
is it
knowledge?
to become
Right.
an astrophysicist?
It turns out.
Turns
Sign
out
me up.
You can just go yell at the woods.
And you're done.
Yeah.
You'll get your diploma in the mail. Like, what?
And in that same episode, they're like, oh, an anomaly. It flew in front of the camera. That's a bug.
That's a problem.
But they said, oh, this anomaly, you can see it like shoot out across you guys. I go, that is a bug that was closer to the camera than it was to those people in the field.
Like, come on,
And it
man.
looks bigger. It was clearly a bug.
And they do not try to debunk anything.
No.
Nothing.
They are very much everything is something.
It's all a ghost.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We dumped 42,000 gallons of water down this hole and it went somewhere. Okay. That happens.
Okay. Yeah, that happens every time I take a bath too. It's so weird.
You take a bath in 42,000 gallons of water?
Yeah.
But there was one episode, they brought a rabbi. They keep talking about portals, and I'm like, this is so
Portals.
stupid.
The portals.
And they had like an army colonel talking about portals. I'm like, how was he actually a colonel in the army?
No.
Is this guy legit? But they try and open a portal with there goes a portal right there.
Yeah.
We can go out there and yell at it,
Yell at
a
it.
show.
And then we're being astrophysicists.
Yeah, there's a skinwalker out there. You hear it growl.
You hear it.
But they brought a rabbi out there for who knows why to go and do some.
Because they found one that was willing to do that.
Like they're sitting there talking to him at the table about opening portals with hymns, and as they're talking, the astrophysicist springs from his chair, knocking it backwards. Look up in the sky! And there goes a drone. He's like, it's a UFO!
It's a UFO!
And then when they actually do the experiment with the rabbi, they go out to the homestead, which is an abandoned house.
Yeah.
And he sits there and he does his little spiel. He does like the hymns or whatever you want to call them. And well, they record the whole thing too. And they're like, okay, the portal should be open now. We're going to put rocks in a circle. And that's to make the spirits feel welcome, which doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
It's not even around the homestead. It's just around a random rock over here.
Oh, got it.
So they're over there, but they're going to feel welcome right here in this rock
Yes.
circle.
You're telling me you're not comforted by a circle of rocks?
And he does that, and then they claim all this stuff happens. And it's so stupid. Like, I remember I watched a few episodes, and I messaged the group chat. I'm like, this is the most stupid show I have ever seen. And I'm going to watch the next episode.
Right. Here we go.
But there's shows like that. Like you have, I think I watched one episode of Finding Bigfoot or The Hunt for Sasquatch or whatever that show was called.
I've seen so many Bigfoot shows. They
It's
blend
the
together
same.
after a
It's the
while.
same thing. They go to the woods.
Except for
they yell.
Mountain Monsters Have you watched?
I haven't watched Mountain Monsters.
It's incredible in the worst way. It seemed like, I can't remember how many seasons they have now. Probably at least 4, maybe 5. I don't know.
How do these shows get so many
Oh my
seasons?
god, it's amazing. So the first season we watched, it was like, this seems pretty legit. Like, it was a bunch of like really just redneck, like back in the woods guys, and that's they're gonna find Bigfoot. And the first, they didn't really get a whole lot the first season. It's very
to be expected.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is like an actual. This isn't a, fictional show where they're just like,
yelling at the woods.
Yeah, this is not a Blair Witch.
Pointing lasers.
Yeah, this is them documenting their findings or whatever. And then some point in season 2, it jumped the shark so hard. And I remember the moment. It was because they were looking for this one type of Bigfoot, and they like caught it in a cage.
Oh god.
And then they came back to it because they're all like tearing around on their 4-wheelers, right? Because they're back in the woods, and they come upon it. And it's like all on fire. And they're like, the chupacabras burned down the cage and free the Bigfoot. And I was like, oh, it has happened. It has happened. And it's just, ever since then, it's kept that energy. And it's so good because it's so bad.
It went to Skinwalker Ranch territory.
It's my favorite kind of trash TV.
Like, the last episode that I watched of Skinwalker Ranch, they brought this guy, they bring all these experts out, and you can tell they're like, why am I here? And they brought this guy out to set up these Tesla coils at a specific location to try and electrify the ground.
Okay.
And they're amazed that electromagnetic activity is happening. Like, this shouldn't be happening. The background noise is too high. My lightning detector's going off. You have lightning bolts shooting off of a coil
Congrats.
5 feet away from you. Of course. It is so stupid.
You ever wonder if you could, like, interview the guests afterwards and be like, how do you feel about this experience?
Why are you friends with this astrophysicist?
Right. How much did they have to pay you for you to humiliate yourself on TV like that?
There was one where it was like, oh, we're getting a signal and it's hacking our Wi-Fi and it's everything shut off. Oh, I'm getting a bad headache. I have to leave the ranch. Okay. And then one guy goes and he's trying to find the signal with his antenna. And then he starts saying, the astrophysicist, he's like, oh, I forgot what I was saying. He's like pretending to be out of it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go try and stand in the silo because that's metal and it's going to shield me from the because he put it on a tinfoil hat pretty much.
Oh.
But he's like, I'm going to go stand in the silo and it's going to block the signal from me. And he goes and stands in it for all of 10 seconds.
Right.
And Dragon, the man named Dragon, goes to check on him because Dragon is a professional.
He's the security guard.
He is the head of security, named Dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah.
But there's 2, right? There's one that's like the like boots to the ground, like running around, yelling at things, security guard, and then there's the one that's like locked in his safe room with all the cameras and TV screens, right?
Yeah. And then there's one guy that has, well, before I do that, I'm going to finish my other story. The Dragon goes to check on him, and then he comes out of the silo after 10 seconds, and everything is better.
Got it.
It's like, I feel so much better. It's like, stop. Okay. If you say so, you and Dragon go do your thing.
Dragon.
But then they have this other guy, and his phone has done this like multiple times where you can see it just like going between apps and opening the phone. And to me, it looks like a video that he's just playing on his phone of a phone going crazy. Because he's not trying to interact with it at all.
Right.
It's just a video of it going crazy. Yeah. It's like you have a video that you're playing on your phone. That's all that this is. And like, oh, it's trying to dial 911. He goes, oh, it's trying to call for help. And he's like, what if it's trying to warn us? It's like, what? It's like, what am I watching?
It's trying to harm you, but also warn you.
Yeah.
And also call help for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And it's opening up your dating apps.
Right. It's swiping for me. I swear I didn't cheat on my wife. It was the cops.
It's the aliens.
It's the aliens.
But, man.
And why did they name it Skinwalker Ranch?
Because, the Skinwalker Ranch is a legit place. They just have really stupid people on there right now.
Right. Because I don't remember anything being, like, related to the Skinwalkers.
I don't remember. I've read the stories on it before, and it's somehow tied with the lore of Skinwalkers.
Well, the placement, but I meant the show. Like,
oh, the show, they mostly focus on, well, nothing.
Nothing.
But they mostly talk about aliens or ghosts, or they mention the Skinwalker here and there. Like, they brought a guy on who fake cried and fake passed out talking about a Skinwalker that he had seen years ago.
How much do you think he got paid to cry and pass out? I think I'd be good at that.
Probably like
job.
10 grand.
Yeah, I could do that.
I mean, we can get a show on history right now.
Call me. I will be on.
We can go out to the compound with some flashlights and yell.
Done.
I'll get a laser grid. They're $20. We can go out there and yell and point lasers. We have to name somebody something really stupid.
Okay.
So they have dragon. We can name, like, Jackie can be Hobbit or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Hobbit, go get the equipment.
Go get it.
And we gotta pan the cameras to areas that there's nothing there and say, oh, it's right
Right.
over there, and then run to it, and then we got a show on history.
I'm down. I'm down.
But I mean, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. We did. If you haven't seen it yet, there's Nick Groff. He's got a video out talking about his experience with Zach Bilbo Baggins over there.
It's exactly what you
It-
have guessed has been going on.
If you've seen Zach, it's exactly what you think has happened.
Right.
He's like blackballing him from the industry
Yeah.
because he didn't want to do the things that Zach wanted to do. Have you ever seen the movie Hell House? The one that Zach Baggins did?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't watch it.
It is
That
worse than Skinwalker Ranch.
Oof.
Like, he buys this
Why?
house that is supposedly super haunted,
Right.
and nothing happens.
I didn't ever watch that. I remember him saying something in, I don't remember if it was an episode after or something, that's why he wears glasses, is because the house like blinded him or something
So
like
stupid.
that.
At one point, his cameraman gets possessed, and then he tackles his cameraman, and then he's better.
Yeah,
And
well,
then-
he really lives for injuring his
Yeah.
co-hosts.
And like, he goes and investigates at the very end. He goes and investigates it himself, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
But he gets visibly scared, which
Happens every episode.
somebody that I've reviewed this film with says before. He says, "Oh, it seemed genuine," and to me, I'm like, that is complete bullshit. He looks like he's acting 100%. Not all 100%. He's 100% acting. He's acting at like 40%.
Right. Right, but you can tell.
Yeah.
It's acting. 100%.
Yeah. And then at the end, he tears the house down, and he's like, so that it can't hurt anybody else. But in my mind, I'm like, you tore that down so nobody can go prove you wrong,
Yeah.
and you have the money to buy it and tear it down.
Right. Right. That was like his pocket change, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's like, you don't want anybody to know that you falsified this entire movie, so you're going to tear the house down.
Right. Makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah. But I think that's about all we had. I think next episode we should do Creepy Kids.
Yes, because I'm sure we can find.
I'm sure Jackie probably has a lot. I mean, she taught school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 So yeah, the next episode will be Creepy Kids, and we'll think of some other topics. But for now, Creepy Kids. So
give us suggestions if you something you want to hear about or hear our opinions on.
Mhm. And send in the creepy things that your kids have said.
Yeah.
Anyway, that has been another episode of Spooky Talk, and we will see you when we feel like doing this again. Bye.